We will keep cutting back to that Congress convention through the day, but for now, shifting focus to that big story that we are breaking on India today. It's a worry for security forces as winter freeze sets in. Intelligence agencies have confirmed that Lashkar and Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists are now operating jointly in the valley. A fresh video posted by terrorists on the 7th of this month. You can see that, in fact, it says Kashmir group of Islamabad. Islamabad, remember, Anantnag in Jammu and Kashmir is also called as Islamabad by the hardliners and the separatists. And this was posted on social media. In video, the terrorists from Hizbul Mujahideen and Lashkar-e-Taiba can be seen walking together in Snowbound mountains somewhere in North Kashmir. They are seen playing in the snow. Police is verifying at the moment the authenticity of the video and trying to locate the specific location where the video was recently shot. Two most deadly terror groups, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hizbul Mujahideen, are operating together in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, joining us is Shuja-ul Haq from the Valley and Shiv Arur as well from Newsroom. Shuja, to you first. Post Burhan Wani's, in fact, death, we saw that how reports emerged of him having spoken to Hafiz Saeed at some point. So is this really something that has been worrying the security agencies for a while now?
Well, Smita, there are a couple of ways to look at this. It is not the first time that we're hearing that these militant organizations are working together. In fact, for last many years, since there has been this tightening of borders and also, increase in the anti-insurgency operations, the resources of militant groups, are depleted, and that's why they found it easier to work with each other, help each other. In fact, like you were pointing out, the conversation between Burhan Wani and, Hafiz Saeed, in that also there was some sort of a hint of, helping each other. So it is not a new phenomenon. It has been happening in the valley for quite some time now. But these are the only, new factor here is that these are confirmations that these militant groups are strategizing their plots together.
Okay.
Now, as far as valley is concerned, over past few months, ever since that unrest began, there has been a lot of activity in terms of militancy that has been seen in South Kashmir, particularly, and these videos only go on to reaffirm that.
Okay, South Kashmir, Shiv, has been the hotbed of course, militancy for the longest time. But as we are reporting that this video seems to have been shot somewhere in North Kashmir. What more can you tell us about the men who are seen in this video?
Well, all we can really say, like Shuja said, is that this establishes, a certain amount of cooperation at the lowest level between the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Hizbul Mujahideen. Like you rightly pointed out, Smita, the conversations that took place between Burhan Wani and Hafiz Mohammad Saeed sitting in Pakistan already established a level of a relationship between the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Hizbul Mujahideen. Historically, if you look at it, these two groups have, had a kind of a relationship, even though they've respected each other's territory. They've separated, logistically, where the attacks will actually take place. Infiltrations by Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists with the help of the Pakistan army, have been quite separate from the, South Kashmir-based terrorism that the Hizbul Mujahideen has mounted for many, many years together. Now, what intelligence agencies are telling us is this video is only representative, of a kind of much closer relationship, a coming together of the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Hizbul Mujahideen, not just in the Kashmir Valley but also in North Kashmir. Point number two, even more importantly, it perhaps establishes, a certain amount of desperation. Logistically speaking, both the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Hizbul Mujahideen are finding it very tough to recuperate and to replenish resources in terms of men and materials for terror attacks in the Kashmir Valley as a result of, a slightly elevated activity on the line of control.
Request you to stay with us on the line. I'll come back to you and Shuja, but also on the phone line with us is Major General retired Satbir Singh. Sir, the video that has emerged, we are talking that of course these links have emerged in the past, but traditionally one would have thought that there would be a turf war between these organizations. When they come together, how do you see it?
You see, in 1978, if we know that the terrorism only had two groups, that was in Pakistan, and today they have grown to over 200 different groups by different names. Well, Pakistan has adopted a policy of low-cost war against India. It is all with the tacit understanding of the military of Pakistan as well as the governance of Pakistan. No, till such time we in India we will have to have a change in our policy against the terrorism. We are still playing softy. I don't think so that's the way to go about. In Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which is our area, it's declared our area, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, there are 42 camps of the terrorist groups. They are growing, they are interacting, they are hand in gloves. Till you now make a policy to destroy them,
okay, sir. So you are expressing grave concerns about what is happening. Many thanks for joining us with your viewpoint. But Shuja, you know, for the intelligence agencies now, what are they suggesting? They're not just looking at South Kashmir anymore. They are looking at the entire, in fact, Kashmir area, especially with reports of some attacks in the recent past where terrorists seem to have managed to flee and we do not know about their whereabouts.
Well, yes, Smita, and that is one of the major concerns that is there with the security establishment. The fact that because of the unrest, there has been this, the period that militants got to reassemble, organize their resources is something which is definitely giving worry to the entire security apparatus. Like we were pointing out repeatedly, even the government in itself accepts that there are about 100 militants which have managed to cross over the line of control in last few months in itself and are working in the valley, apart from those who have locally joined. So this is a double problem for this entire security agencies. But having said that, there are two aspects. One, that in Kashmir you're looking at the problems which may arise because of those militants who are inside the valley. In Jammu division, you have another set of problems because of the kind of strategic shift that these militants have taken of infiltrating through LOC or international border and then escaping. That is something that which is presenting it as another very important challenge for the security agencies. They'll have to increase their security grid on the line of control on the international border, while as they also have to increase their intelligence network, within our own areas to establish the movement of these militants.
Should just stay with us. I'm also joined on the phone line by security and defense expert, Mr. Alok Bansal. Mr. Bansal, these videos increasingly they are being posted on social media where you don't see people really trying to hide their faces. They're not masking themselves. What kind of a message is this sending out and of these two terror organizations coming together?
There is a message which they are trying to send to their sympathizers that they are not deterred, and I think they are going to strike. And secondly, we must understand that LET has most of its cadres are from Pakistan, and they have no reasons to hide their faces because they know they are in their safe sanctuaries. The coming together of these two organizations is of course dangerous because LET has strong backing of ISI, and HM has certain support within the valley. So just two organizations coming through together would be a difficult proposition, but I think the security forces in India are geared up to tackle them. And I think showing them moving around in snowbound areas basically is to give a message to their supporters in the valley that despite the onset of winters and the passes having been closed, they need not lose hope. I think it's an attempt to psychologically motivate them and keep the pot boiling.
Okay, many thanks. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. Alok Bansal. Shiv, as you were just hearing Mr. Alok Bansal say that these videos also aim at psychologically keeping the pot boiling. So what are the challenges really for the intelligence agencies to try and figure out the specifics of this kind of a video that comes out in public domain?
In terms of a tactical challenge on the ground, it will be much more, as Shuja actually said, because speaking simply in terms of numbers, Smita, you're talking about the Hizbul Mujahideen resources and the Lashkar-e-Taiba resources acting not in conflict with each other or competing or separating territories, but together. That means joint planning, joint execution, joint protection for resources, joint sleeper cells perhaps, and joint support from sources within Pakistan. So if you look at the joint logistics of two very formidable terror outfits that have proven that they are highly capable of mounting effective terror attacks in the Kashmir Valley and beyond, then you've got basically a duplication of the resources that each one of these groups groups can actually, muster to impact and damage the Indian state. So this is definitely going to be a huge challenge, both for intelligence agencies as well as forces on the ground.
Okay, well, we also have, in fact, Major General G.D. Bakshi, and Shiv, if you want, you can ask him a question too. Sir, is it really a new thing to see terror organizations in the valley come together and operate together? We are talking about Hizbul and Lashkar here in this particular case.
No. I had operated for almost 10 years there, and it's a very common practice for these tanzeems to, pool their resources, pool their manpower together for operations, cooperate with one another. But let me also tell you at the same time, they also have lot of internecine feuds because of control of territory or primacy in a particular area, etc.
Right.
And if you recall that video by Burhan Wani, where he was talking to his Aka,
Yes.
Hafiz Saeed, and the way he was sucking up to him. But very cleverly, if you go back to that video, you will find him taking snide shots or snipes at the Lashkar. And he was telling him, if there is a shortage of fund, let me know. Your boys are complaining of shortage of fund, let me know, I can help them.
Okay.
So they do cooperate, they do operate together, but they also have lots of personality clashes, ego clashes, and competition for dominance over a particular area. This is called field.
Okay.
And then there are sometimes lots of internecine conflicts.
So you raise an important point. We appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Shuja, the point that General G.D. Bakshi was raising there, do we have any information about what the current command structure will look like once these organizations start working together?
Well, Smita, officially they will never work to, be publicized or accept that they have started working together, because you have to understand their hierarchies are very well defined, based in, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and official confirmation from any militant organization would not come to it. Hence, there won't be, that kind of a visible command and control structure. However, locally, if they have to work together, if you remember, we've been pointing this out, Burhan Wani's audio conversation, he was saying that I am in constant touch with the local LET commander Abu Dujana, and Abu Dujana has been saying that he needs resources off and on. That was the conversation that we very clearly heard. So that also points out to the fact that local commanders may be acting together, maybe helping each other in generating resources, in ensuring that those who are crossing over from the line of control are received and then taken to those places where they are strategically needed. So locally there could be some sort of a tandem between the local commanders, but officially when it comes to the hierarchies of these militant organizations, they will never accept that they are working together.
Okay, I'm also joined on the phone line by Arun Singh, defense and security expert. Mr. Singh, when such organizations come together, say Hizbul and Lashkar-e-Taiba, is there also a sign of desperation perhaps for increased security action against the groups?
No, I think, this relationship has been going on for very, very long. And there is a symbiosis, and the symbiosis is that while the Hizbul Mujahideen is, locally more familiar, with the terrain and, with the people and the entire, the ground aspects of militancy, the muscle and money power is with the Lashkar-e-Taiba, or it is the Lashkar-e-Taiba which provides, most of the training facilities, and it is they who are, they have a vast financial network. So to that extent, there is a symbiosis, and we must understand this symbiosis. So if Burhan Wani was talking to Hafiz Saeed, it was, it was just reflective of that symbiosis.
Okay. So, Arun Singh, they're making those crucial points that, of course, the main funding coming in from the organization across the border. Appreciate you joining us. Brigadier Mahalingam, another defense expert, is also on the phone line with us. Brigadier Mahalingam, when you have these kind of videos put out, here you can see some less than 10 men, of course, wearing the ferens, walking on the snow, playing with the snow, and they all seem to be pretty young men. how does the intelligence, the security, in fact, organizations get into action here in terms of trying to find out the locations or verifying authenticity?
See, the point that we must understand is such videos do keep on coming up time and again. And that is not because of some security forces who take this video or otherwise. It is perhaps some of those people who were part of the entire game there. They might be taking the videos and they must be posting it in some website or the other and or passing it on to someone to make it public. So that having said, let me say that as far as the Hizbul Mujahideen and Lashkar-e-Toiba is concerned, as has been brought out earlier, they have been having constant links time and again. And the most important thing to note here is Hizbul Mujahideen has the Jamaat-e-Islami as its logistical base in the valley. And it is that which is most important in as far as the Hizbul Mujahideen as also the terror outfit in Kashmir is concerned.
Okay.
The Lashkar-e-Taiba is making use of this logistic chain that they have for receiving them, keeping them, providing the arms, ammunition, food, etc. in the valley.
Right.
That is most significant. As far as the security forces taking action on those people is concerned, it is extremely difficult because it will be very difficult to locate where they are, and they are not going to be there continue to play again time and again for
Okay, Brigadier Mahalingam, you've made your point. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Clearly, these are posing serious security challenges as well. But for now, many thanks to Shiv, Arun and Shujaul Haq as well for joining us with this top story.